Okay, so it's been a week since I made my first video, and I decided I'd just do another one kind of showing you guys where we're at with Kaori's greenhouse and how much stuff has grown in a week. But her bee balm right there, it's looking pretty good. I'm still a little nervous to plant it outside in the flower boxes I got on the front. We'll still get some freezing nights, so I'm not sure how well that will handle it. And our garlic, it's growing, it's coming up pretty good. We got a third one that's coming up, a baby one there that it wasn't there last week, and it's poking its head through. We had a mystery plant coming through there, and I decided it was a pea plant, so I moved it over with the peas. There's our radishes. They're all coming up really good. They're actually getting some red on the bottom, starting to grow. Won't be too long until those will be ready to harvest. Carrots, they're all looking really good there. They're coming up, and they're getting bushy and green. That celery back there, it's grown quite a bit since last week. We're still not seeing any of our ginger root, and I probably have that too deep. I might have to move that. The peas, they're growing really good. They've gotten to where they're tall enough to where I put some strings in here for them to grow up. So we got our sugar daddy peas there, and then those are the snow peas, and then right there's her garden beans, and I just built this little contraption to run strings up to give those somewhere to go. Her broccoli, that's doing pretty good. Hasn't made a whole lot of change since last week. And we got our 2 rows of cucumber back here. I've grown some watching last week's video, but it's not making a big growth spurt. All the lettuce back there, it's kind of filling out really good. It's taking over the place. It's gonna grow really good back there, I think. And our mesclun, it's grown a little bit here. Our squash, I'm going to have to get that outside soon. That's really taken off. That one there is scallop squash, I guess. And then these ones are, I'm not sure. I got labels on them, but we got all of the squash plants growing here. This was our mystery bitter dock plant that I had in the corner. We've repotted it. It was acting like it was ready to die for a while. But it's basically a weed, I guess, but kind of pretty. And it's acting like it's going to be doing something up here. I don't know what that's going to be. I'm kind of curious to see if it's flowers or what it does. And we do have a new mystery plant that's coming up back here. It was actually coming up right next to my squash pots that I had sitting there last week, so I've moved them. We'll see what that turns into. The strawberries, they're getting bigger and bigger every day. A lot of the flowers, I think they're getting ready to turn into fruit, hopefully. All the petals have fallen off a lot of the flowers. We still do have some that are growing there. The strawberries are doing way good up there. Our pepper plants, they really haven't changed much. I don't know if it's warm enough weather yet or what. I'm not going right there, but we'll play with it some more. The potted plants, we've had a lot of them start showing up. I just planted them right before I did the last video, and there was nothing there. Now I'm starting to get several of my flowers coming up in my potted flower pots. Now that's some more squash that I'll be transplanting outside once it's warm enough. And some extra tomatoes, and then all these extra tomatoes. That's another squash plant there, but then the rest of these are tomatoes here that are ready to be transplanted somewhere. And then these are the ones I've got planted. They're doing all right. They're not growing gangbusters, but they're doing all right. Back over here to her herb garden. We're starting to see more going on here, but our oregano, not a whole lot there, just a little bit coming up there. Cilantro, well, I don't think there was hardly anything showing last week, and they've all popped up and they're really taking off good. The sage right here, that's coming up and looking good. And then over on the other side of this we have basil that's coming in. Some lavender plants right here, a few of them are popping up. And then down at the very end we got the parsley. I really didn't give much of a tour of the rest of the greenhouse or what we got going, but I've got this thermostat here set that will I've got a space heater in here that'll kick on to keep it warm. And then if it gets too hot in here, I've got it wired up to a swamp cooler. I've got up here that I've got the air angled down off that. That's what that thing is on top. But it's a swamp cooler that it kicks on when it gets too hot in here to keep the place cool. And then I've got these vents with automatic openers on the other side that when it gets hot, they'll open up and then they close off at night as it cools down. I do have a watering system in here that I've been playing with. It's coming along. I don't have it ran to everything yet, but got that on a timer to kick the water on, and then I've got another hose for just a sprayer, garden hose sprayer that we've got in here. Show you the outside, some things we're doing. So I've got that flower box built that I'm going to fill up probably tomorrow. These are all onions that she planted several years ago, and they just keep coming back every year. And I'm going to build another box right along the side of it for some more squash and stuff. And here, I've got it covered up for the night, but we've got some flowers going there. And then that's going to get filled with dirt, and that's where we're going to plant a lot of the squash there. It's going pretty good.